All right, guys, welcome to the first Booted podcast. My name is Alex. I'm here with Vadim, and we're just going to get started. Vadim, what's our first topic?
All right, guys, we're going to start with our first topic, and it's whether Trump is a legitimate candidate. So let's ask Alex what he thinks about Trump.
I think he's becoming more of a legitimate candidate than I think most people gave him credit for, including myself. I thought he was a joke, complete joke. At points, he's proving that right, but at the same time, it seems like he's definitely in the lead. I mean, that goes without saying, but I don't know if he could actually keep it up continuously. It just doesn't seem like he can.
Okay, well, let me ask you this question. What do you think makes him a good candidate? Because I don't see it. I really don't. I don't think he's a good candidate. I think he's a joke. I think he's a clown. And I just don't see him going any further than where he is now.
I don't know if I would say he's a good candidate. I think he's speaking to a certain demographic that absolutely thinks he's saying the right thing. He's saying the thing that they want to hear. He's saying he's saying it in the right tone. That's the thing. You could be stupid, and I'm not saying necessarily he is. I don't think he is, but I'm saying you could be stupid, but if you say something with influence, people are going to go, maybe he knows something. Maybe he knows something that I don't, because he's saying something stupid, but he's saying it with such confidence.
He definitely knows something that no one else does. It just seems like it.
Right, but it seems like he's saying it with such confidence that it makes you think that he's like, there's something behind the madness, in a sense. It sounds like, it's like he'll say something crazy like, hey, they're all rapers. Maybe? It's like, well,
I don't think so.
He's so confident.
I don't think so. I think it's a big facade. I think he's put in on the show, and people are buying it. And to me, it just sounds ridiculous.
Okay,
that he's a legitimate candidate. Come on.
Okay, let me ask you this: why do you think he's running then? If you're saying he's not legitimate and it's a joke, why do you think he's running? Do you think he thinks that he has an actual chance, or do you think it's something else?
I don't think he thinks he has an actual chance of winning the Republican nomination. I think why he's actually doing it is in secret to really support Hillary Clinton once he resigns from this candidacy. I think truly that's what it is. He used to contribute money to her campaign, and I still think no matter what, even if he talks shit about her or her policies, I still think that really he is secretly in the closet still supporting Hillary Clinton. So once his presidency run is over, he's going to support her.
I don't know. Well, the thing is,
so all of the people that are voting for him right now, virtually, not physically, obviously, because the election hasn't started yet, I think that he may direct them over to Clinton. That's just my opinion.
Well, first of all, when he donated money, Clinton was only one of the people that he donated to. She wasn't the sole one. It's just everyone focuses on it because he's running on the Republican ticket, not the Democratic ticket. So because of that, it's making big news about that. But in reality, he donated to a lot of people. Basically, anyone that he could give money to and have some kind of influence on.
True. I agree with you, because he's like a mini oligarch. Obviously, he has to donate funds to campaigns that are probably on both sides, Democrat and Republican, so that they do favors for him. I mean, come on, everybody knows that.
Right, but that's where I disagree with you. If he's giving money to everyone, I don't understand why he would specifically do a whole campaign and be the front runner on the Republican Party just so that he could transfer all of the momentum that he has over to Hillary. I just don't understand why that would be.
Well, in my opinion...
And first of all, I don't think he even imagined that he could be possibly leading the Republican candidacy.
Well, I don't know if he
But I think now that
imagined.
he's there,
Well, I don't know if he did or if he didn't. But the whole point is not only does he get to build his brand further, he also has an opportunity once he stops running to support another candidate of his choosing. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is, but that would, if anything, that would hurt him because he basically focused on, I mean, a certain type of demographic that really doesn't focus on Clinton. I mean, if anything, it's anti-Clinton completely. So if he comes out and goes, oh, yeah, you know what, I'm not going to win, but if you're going to vote for me, then you should really vote for Hillary, which Hillary, they don't stand on the same issues at all.
I see what you're saying, but if Hillary runs on a similar stance as Trump, she can gain those voters. You know, yet again, I'm not saying that this is 100% that this is how it's going to play out.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like it is. It really sounds like a theory without too much basis, at least in my opinion.
But I'll tell you this, Trump really is a clown. I mean, you know, he says that he cares about people, right? And, you know, I think he does care about people. I think he cares about the people that are around his circle. People who have a lot of money, who really don't give a shit about the average Joe. It's a facade that he's putting on. He's putting on a show. And he also said that he's anti-China. And then he turns around in one of his speeches and actually says that he has a meeting with business people from China. So how can you trust a candidate, you know, that tells you one and then tells you another?
Unlike every other candidate, right?
Well, I don't disagree with that, but to say that Trump is a legitimate guy, he cares about the average Joe.
But that's not what they're saying. Hold on. That's not what they're saying.
Let's get real.
That's not what they're saying. When they're talking about legitimate, what they're actually talking about is that he says whatever is on his mind. And honestly, to that, I would actually agree. I think some of the things he said, really hard to write for. He's not using any kind of prompter. He's just whatever comes into his mind, whatever he thinks, he actually says. And, you know, at points, it gets him in trouble. At other points, people are like, hell yeah. And the fact is that he never apologizes. There's people who are loving that. They are amazed by how they could possibly have like this candidate who, without filter, says whatever he thinks. Doesn't matter how wrong or politically incorrect it sounds, or just whatever, just basically wrong. It's still, he just holds on to that. Whatever he says about anyone, I'm gonna hold on to it. And there's definitely people who react to that. And they're like, this is the type of candidate that we wanted. That was actually one of the big reasons for Bush. Bush, the reason why people liked him so much was that, hey, I could have a beer with him. It was that, like, he related to people more. And, you know, Donald Trump doesn't relate in that respect.
Well, of course.
But he relates in terms of he knows what he's doing. And he basically says that. But just, this is my opinion. I think that he did not think that he's going to be where he's at right now. But I think now that he's actually leading for a while, it hasn't been a week. It has been basically since he announced that he's been leading, that I think he actually believes now that he can win, that is the actual feasible thing that he can accomplish.
Well, I think that if he was a legitimate candidate where he was chosen by the Republican Party to run, I think that he would win. But the problem is that there's someone named Jeb Bush.
Yes.
And when you have a Bush running for presidency, usually they win. And he has a lot of backing by corporations, by the Republicans. And even though the reputation of the Bush family isn't pristine, his wife is Hispanic. And I think specifically, I believe she's Mexican. So, as a Republican candidate, Jeb Bush, in my opinion, has the support of most Latinos.
Do you think that the Republican Party does not want Donald Trump to win or get the nomination, I should say?
I don't think that they necessarily care whether he gets the nomination or Jeb Bush gets the nomination in the sense of politics, because yet again, I think it's a front that that Trump is putting on. It's really a front. I don't think that this is his real political, that these are real political goals that he has. I just think that he's a clown and he's looking for that attention from people. And you're right, that's the reason why people love him, because he doesn't have a filter. He says whatever he wants to say. He doesn't apologize. He's not politically correct. So I don't think a legitimate candidate who actually cared about his candidacy would do such a thing. It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, in my opinion, his days are numbered, and he's going to quit either via scandal, or he's going to run out of money.
Do you really think
something else?
Do you really think that there's a scandal that could possibly make him leave? Do you believe that there's a...
Sure. I mean, the media, they come up with scandals all the time. Do we know for a fact that they're real?
Right, but
No.
but the character that he made for himself is unapologetic. He's a guy who has been married a bunch of times. He doesn't take crap from anybody, and he laughs everything off, or he makes fun of you, or he calls you a name. So I think it would be very, very difficult for somebody to throw dirt at him because he's sort of covered in it.
I disagree, because he's covered in dirt from the liberal stance, from the Democratic stance. But if you dig up dirt that will hurt him in the Republican sense, for example, he says that he is against abortion, for example, and then someone records him saying that he's actually for abortion. Well, the crowd of people that are for Trump are religious people,
but
religious Christians who will at any point of time disown him if he is for abortion.
But to your point, but the point you're trying to make right now, it doesn't necessarily fly, because he used to be, and this is open to anyone, this is not hidden or anything like that, he used to be for Democrats. He used to give money to Democrats. He used to be very pro-Democrats. So at this point, to act as if like, oh, well, there's no way to find anything about him saying pro-Democrat, things that he wants to do, things that he wants to accomplish. No, it's very easy. The whole point is that he could say anything he wants and still get away with it, because it's about what he says now with him, and that's the character that he created. It's the character that he has done himself. But I just don't see anything that they could come up with. Like, oh, you said this. He's like, well, things happen, and then move on. Make fun of the guy who said it and just move on. That was it.
I completely disagree with you on that. And the reason is simple. He's running for the president of the United States. But remember, we have two parties. So he is in the good with the Republican Party, and teabaggers, or whatever they want to call themselves, the Tea Party, they love him.
Right. That's
ultra
literally my point.
Conservative Christians.
That's what we're
love
talking about.
him.
We're talking about
if
them.
he makes a mistake with them, they will drop him so fast.
No, but we're talking about the skeletons that he has in his closet.
Oh,
and I'm saying there's no scandal that he could do. He's already said all the things they wanted to hear. It's if they could bring something up from before, because before that he said contradicting things, but they don't care about that. It's what he says now and how confident he is in what he says. And the thing is, again, people want to watch him. If you look at all the debates, the reason why they're the highest rated basically ever is because of him. It's because people are genuinely interested in what he has to say, whether it be a funny, crazy, or interested party that wants to watch him. But he gets that crowd, and he gets Republicans, and I just don't see anything that could really throw him off in that respect. I could see him being thrown off by other things, but not necessarily.
Well, let's agree to disagree on this, because I believe that there's always a chance that the media can throw a wrench into his candidacy and just end it right then and there. But
right, yeah,
that's
I disagree with that,
We have different opinions on this.
Right, okay, but let me ask you this, though. Do you think that Bush will start making resurgence? Because I don't even know if it's a resurgence, because I don't know if he was leading the polls at a certain point. Because, I mean, he has been getting his butt kicked by pretty much everyone that says any controversial thing. I mean, right now it's Ben Carson, but I don't think anybody is really thinking Ben Carson is going to be the next big thing, just because he falls asleep every time he gives a speech.
Wow.
So, what do you think? When do you think he's going to make a push?
Well, the question is Ben Carson the real black candidate?
Real black candidate. Who would be?
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like Obama is half white and half black.
Well, he's not running though.
No, I'm not saying that he has to run. All I'm saying is Obama's not really considered the real black president.
Who's considered the real black president? Clinton?
Well, maybe. maybe Clinton is more black than Obama.
I think definitely by most people Obama would be considered it.
Well, the thing is,
he's from Kenya, so
I don't know where he's from. I don't know.
I
have no clue. How am I supposed to know where he's from? I don't know where he's from. I'm not saying he's from here or he's from there. I'm just saying I don't know. Don't
start the birther movement.
Hey,
again,
listen. Based on people's reports, he was born in Hawaii.
Right.
Okay. Whatever. Doesn't matter where he was born, in my opinion. But the thing here is that Jeb Bush is a big name.
Yes.
We agree on that.
Yes.
He has a lot of support from the Republican. From the Republican side.
Yes.
So that's two. Now,
but you know what? There are contradicting things to that. For example, Ben Carson, in the last, I think it was just recently released that he got like $20 million in last quarter in donations, whereas Jeb Bush got like $13 million. So he's not even winning that race. So at what point do you think, or how, or when do you think Jeb Bush is actually going to be able to start making a move? Like, does he have to wait for them to fumble, or can he just do it on his own, because people are going to be like, you know what, we need a more serious candidate?
In my theory, I think he can do either. But I think in reality what's going to happen is one by one these candidates are going to drop like flies, whether it's the fact that they don't have enough money, whether they're too old and they're about to have a heart attack, I don't know. But one by one, they're all going to drop like flies, and Bush is going to upgrade his political stance, and he is going to be the front runner. That's just my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. And he has, his secret sauce. And what I mean by secret sauce is his wife. His wife is Mexican, as far as I know. And that speaks loudly to the liberal Democratic population.
Right. You're absolutely right. I want to cut you off just for one reason, though. Because we're talking about the Republican nomination. There's not that many Latinos that are Republicans who are going to be voting in that election to get whoever is going to be on the Republican ticket. So for that reason, that isn't really going to be a big help for Bush in that ticket.
Well,
I mean,
I disagree with you.
if anything, it might actually even hurt him.
I know. I disagree with you.
In the primary, you're absolutely right. It's a huge boost, and that is absolutely like. I mean, you have a lot of Latinos, and they will relate to her way more than they will relate to the other side. But there's still that thing that he has to get the nomination.
But remember, the Republican Party wants to put out a candidate that has the best chances of winning the presidency. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
But they don't vote. That's the thing. They don't vote.
So, and I think that that's going to change for this election. I think they're going to come out more and vote for him. But that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. I think that that's what's going to happen. I think that essentially that's going to be the difference. But let's just stop there. In my opinion, Jeb Bush is really the chosen guy. You know, you can say whatever you want about this or about that, about how much money he has raised, about his wife or whatever. This is the guy who comes from a family of presidents. Come on, let's get real.
But if you take a look at every other election when Bush ran, okay, they were always leading. I'm not talking about in the general election. I'm talking about specifically leading in the primaries. You know, it's like we haven't seen necessarily this before, where a Bush is coming back from behind to win in a Republican candidacy. That doesn't happen too often. So
well, I see what you're saying, but you have to change things up. You know, you can't always make it obvious that the Bush is going to win. But I'll tell you this, in my opinion, the Bush is going to win again. And that's what it's going to be. He's going to be the next president of the United States, just based off of my theory. And of course, Obama came out and said that he would love to be the next president. So he would love to stay another term because he's having so much fun. No, I'm just bringing that in. If he had power to run again and win, he thinks that he could. Basically what he said, if he was running right now, he'd win again. And to be honest with you, he probably would. If he ran again versus the opposition that's around right now, that's including Hillary, including Bernie Sanders, including everyone else on the Republican side, which is like 50 people or something, I think he could beat him pretty handily. I just don't think anybody could actually challenge him in that respect. I completely and utterly disagree with you. He has a low rating. People don't trust him.
Yeah, but people were saying that.
And rednecks are rednecks. So let's keep it there.
People actually do like him, and people do actually think that he actually has done good, to act as if it's like if he would run again, because people were saying the same thing the second time he was running. Oh, there's too much shade on him, people threw too much shit at him, there's no way he could win. And again, he won. The idea, your theory has to hold water only once Jeb Bush starts actually going up. Right now, what you're saying basically is, trust me, he's going to win. Right now, there's nothing what you've said that could actually prove to be the winner. So I mean, again, the biggest thing that he has is his name. Literally, that's the biggest name that he has. The biggest thing that he has.
All I have to say is, trust me, he is going to win. The next president of the United States of America is Bush. Jeb Bush. Hey, comedians, start writing jokes right now.
Yeah, I see. Again, it's a good theory, but until he starts going up in polls, that's all it'll stay.
Well, I gave you my prediction. What's your prediction?
My prediction, I actually don't know. I think it's coming down to Trump for the Republican side, but I think Hillary probably is going to take it. I think Hillary, she's still beating everybody else. She's literally beating.
Okay,
everybody.
hold on,
She's beating the Republican
hold
side.
on a second.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton is a Democratic
Yes.
candidate.
Yes.
So you just mentioned Trump, and you just mentioned that she's gonna take it. So
I said no. I said the whole thing. I said.
so
I
you,
think-
you're
I think-
saying
I think
you're
that-
saying
I
that
think
Hillary
that
Clinton is
Trump-
gonna be
I think Trump is
president
going
of the
to-
United States.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Well, she's okay. She's leading right now. She's
Because
leading.
she has no competition.
So what does that have to do with it? That's-
You have
No, but she's leading overall. She's not leading only the Democrats. She's leading overall.
you have what, Bernie Sanders, that everyone is saying that he is socialist. Who's
But
gonna,
he's also saying that he's a socialist.
well,
He's a
whatever.
socialist
Maybe
Democrat.
he's confused. I don't know. But the problem is, who's gonna vote for him? Who's gonna vote for a
People-
socialist in the United States of America?
Quite a few people.
They're
I think-
idiots.
I think
If
you'd be-
that's the
I
case,
think
they're
you'd be
idiots.
Surprised. I think you'd be surprised.
Okay, that's fine. If that's the case, they're stupid idiots.
I don't know. Your
My opinion.
Your point seems weird just because it contradicts like for example, like if they vote for Trump, they're not idiots. So
I'm not saying they're not idiots.
Okay, so
I'm
who-
saying
who
they're
would-
idiots
who
as
would-
well.
okay,
There are
who
no
would-
good candidates.
so basically, people are idiots that vote.
Pretty much.
Okay, that's weird.
Pretty much. Pretty
That's
much.
weird.
If they did not vote, if no one voted, then that means that they can't elect a president, or based on the candidates, they would need to insert candidates that people actually like, that they actually trust.
But wouldn't that mean that Obama will continue to stay president if no one voted?
Well, interim, I agree with you.
Yeah,
He
but
would
they
have to
wouldn't.
stay.
They wouldn't go like, oh well, you didn't like them. Let us give you somebody else. They would just go like, all right, well, we're gonna try it again.
Well, try again until you succeed. But what I'm trying to say is simply these candidates are liars. I mean,
That's
you know,
been part of politics since politics
well,
created.
But that's really the issue here. But so you're taking Clinton for president.
I think she's going to win. I'm
With-
not.
with-
That's not who I'm going for.
With the Benghazi scandals, with her server scandals.
Right, but you got to remember when
Come
the
on.
election is actually coming up. The fact of it is that they're all talking about it right now, and right now she's still beating everybody. With everything being fresh in people's mind right now, and she's still beating everybody. In 6 months from now, people will not be talking about it. People are going to be, or I shouldn't say they're not going to be talking about it. It's just going to be a much smaller story, and then she's going to be even winning by even much more than that. So
with all the scandals like Benghazi, when she was asked by when she was being interviewed by Congress and asked about the scandal and the details,
yeah, but we're not going to.
she just pretty much
we're
said,
not going to
well,
go into that.
why
Come
does it
on.
matter?
Come on, we're not going to
It's
go
like
into
why
that.
why does it matter that people got killed? I mean,
Yeah, we're not going to
yeah,
go into
yeah.
that. It's too long of a conversation, and there's literally has been no
But
proof of
I
her
don't
doing
think
anything
I don't
nefarious.
think I really don't think that she's going to be the next president of the United States. She has too much dirt. I think that the media is going to run with it, and it has run with it. I mean, I don't think people trust her, and they shouldn't. You know, they shouldn't trust her.
But you're basically saying people shouldn't trust anybody. So to point
Yes,
out specifically about Hillary Clinton, they
Especially
shouldn't trust her.
Especially her.
Especially her. I have no
Especially.
clue why. If you're saying you can't trust any of them, I don't know. You're saying the other ones you sort of can.
Well, no, I'm not saying that other candidates are necessarily better, but we know that she's worse.
How do we know that she's
Just
worse?
based on the scandals, based on the
The
lies.
scandals, no, but
Hey.
the scandals could be argumentative in terms of they're created not by her, they're created by other people who want to get dirt on her.
All
and
right.
the thing is, the guy who was going to replace Boehner just came out and said,
Boehner
hey,
or Boner?
all right, okay, Boehner. The guy that was going to replace Boehner, he came out and he basically gave his qualifying reason for being there, and he actually said, yeah, I was the guy who basically set up everything so that the Benghazi thing is going to make Hillary Clinton look really bad, and you can see it's sticking on her. So I mean, it's obvious what the right was trying to do, and they accomplished it. They did a really great job with it, because even the fact that there's no proof, if you repeat something over and over again, people are going to remember that. So you know what? Let's not continue on with this, because we're completely going off track. let's see. What do we have for our next topic?
Wait. Let's just end at this. So your prediction is Hillary Clinton for president.
Yes.
In 2016.
Yes.
My prediction is Jeb Bush. I guess we'll see what happens.
There you go. I'm with you.
Let's move on to our next controversial topic: equal pay for women.